don't do distractions. I'm coming back.
Man, the NFL draft is over. The NFL draft is over, man. But we're not here to talk about that. We're going back into the NBA playoffs. But real quick, J. Lou, in your opinion, who's your top 3 teams that won the draft?
Jets, Lions, third one's tough. Maybe Ravens. I think that would be my top
good draft. You did have a good draft, man. Jets did probably have one of the best drafts. Yeah, we traded Hollywood Brown, and that left a huge hole. I mean, we already had a hole in the wide receiver spot, but now it's an even bigger one now that he was gone. So, I mean, it's not like we just did it. He wanted to leave. I can't blame him, Greg Roman. So, like, when you have players literally leaving because of your offensive coordinator, that says a lot. That says a lot, Baltimore. And I've brought this up in the past. So, let's hope we do something about it. But it is the semifinals. It is the semifinals. And here are your teams. We got Phoenix. Phoenix squeaked out. I ain't gonna say squeaked out. Phoenix beat the Pelicans in 6 games. Dallas, like I said, was gonna beat Utah. Golden State got past Denver. Memphis got past the Timberwolves. Miami got past Atlanta. Philly got past Toronto. I thought we thought there was some question marks in that series. Philly ended up taking it all, but at what risk? Because you don't have Joel Embiid. That's tough. We're gonna get to that in a second. Milwaukee easily got by Chicago, and then Boston. We don't even got to talk about that because we already did. So, day one was Milwaukee, Boston, and then Golden State, Memphis. Milwaukee looked like they easily just took game one. Well, Marcus Smart did get hurt. He came back, but I don't know if he's playing tonight. So who knows? Because if you don't take one at home, at least one at home, and then you got to go back to Milwaukee, that's tough. You got to capitalize. Without Chris Middleton especially, you got to capitalize. But if I had to guess who takes the series, probably Milwaukee in 6. I gotta go probably Milwaukee in 6. But if Milwaukee wins tonight again in Boston, they probably gonna win in 5. So, but yeah, either way, I got Milwaukee coming out.
Okay. For me, I wanted to recap real quick the other first rounds. I mean, you spoke on it, but some of them just didn't sit right with me. I mean, the Bucks, Bulls, obviously, without Lonzo, the Bulls definitely were on a downward trend throughout the year. And Zach LaVine did miss the last game of the series due to health and safety protocols. And of course, they were already out Lonzo and then Zach, and I don't think Caruso played either. So that was doomed for them from the start. They just need to come back next year with more, I would say, more resilience and of course health. Obviously, that's what everybody wants, but it's just not going to happen with a lot of teams out there. But I think they're definitely going to need to go deeper into their bench, obviously, as well. So we'll see what the Bulls do in the offseason. Also, staying in the East, Raptors, I mean, I didn't really have them winning anyways. I mean, after Fred Van we got hurt, though. They did start winning. That That's because they're able to put another tall guy out on the floor. Because Fred was the only really small guy in their lineup, like under like 6'2". Because I'm pretty sure Gary Trent started at like 6'4", 6'5". So they were able to run pretty big lineups without Fred, which brought them back into the series, taking 2 games. And of course, the Sixers handled business game 6, which, like you said, Embiid did have an orbital fracture to his face. He's out officially for game 2 against Miami. They lost last night. Game 1. It was a good first half, though. It was definitely interesting. Miami was struggling. Well, their first unit was struggling against that 2-3 zone Sixers had. But then when the second unit came in, obviously more shooting second team unit for the Heat definitely exposed that zone because they're able to shoot better. So moving forward, I think, Miami should be able to handle Philly with, especially without Embiid. Well, a banged up Embiid, even at that. So going also, the other game, it was Brooklyn, Boston. I mean, KD, he played the most minutes in the NBA this year, averaging 44 minutes in the playoffs and around 42, 43 minutes in the regular season. Obviously, dead legs caught up to him. I mean, no one's going to admit dead legs because, it's like, so what? But him and Kyrie played the most minutes in the playoffs. Kyrie with 43 minutes himself. Obviously, they had to because they're only 2 players who could effectively do something against Boston. And the last series in the East was the Hawks and Heat. I mean, we already talked about that.
There's nothing to talk about.
Handily. And moving out west real quick, I mean, the Jazz obviously disappointed. Another year. We'll see what they're going to do in the offseason. I mean, Donovan was saying he was going to wait it out to like after the playoffs to maybe make up his mind about his future. So we'll see where he feels on that. You talked about the Pelicans. They give the Suns a run for their money without Booker. Booker did come back, but Chris Paul played one of the best games of a playoff career, shot 14 for 14 in the closeout game and finished with 33 points. And the Suns took care of Pelicans, and actually it was a very close game. So kudos to Chris Paul. I mean, that definitely boosted his career legacy because imagine going to 7 with a team just coming out the play-in. So Chris Paul, they're in the second round again. Like you brought up, they play the Mavs. And then the 3rd and 6th seed, the Warriors obviously took care of Denver pretty easily. Jokic obviously didn't have enough help. But the games were played outside of games 1 and 2. The Nuggets did put up a fighting effort in the last 3 games, but obviously wasn't enough. And going forward, they're another team who just needs to get healthy. The 2 of their best guys are paid max deals. So, and they were hurt. So we'll see how they come back next season. And the last series was
Minnesota
Timberwolves. I don't know. Timberwolves. People were saying they could have easily won in 5, but they lost in 6.
Crazy.
With them, Cat
did not have a good series at all.
Yeah, he had a bad series, and obviously he was worried about on the court issues. Off the court issues with the on the court smack talking. So he just needs to focus on basketball, in my opinion. So they had a good roster, a good young roster. Anthony Edwards definitely played one of the best basketballs for a young player. I think he averaged 25 this series, and he played pretty good in most of the games. So they got a young core to build around. They just need to worry about D'Angelo Russell played bad, and Cat. They both need to step it up next year in the playoffs if they get there. So that's really my takes on the first round. Then the Bucks, Celtics. originally I was telling people it wouldn't be that easy. Celtics would not be able to score that easy like they were against the Nets. And so the comment, it happened. I mean, I still thought Boston would be able to win game one due to, a little bit more rest than Milwaukee, and they also lost Middleton. But they struggled immensely against a new defense, and they lost pretty badly, and they shot very bad. Jaylen Brown and Tatum, I think they combined for 11 for 35, something like that. So
it was terrible.
I know Brown's dealing with a hamstring injury, not that bad. Obviously, he's able to play. And Tatum, he's going to get a lot of attention playing with, Giannis is on him most of the game. Drew Holiday. He's going to get a lot of different defenders. And the paint was not as open as it was when they played Brooklyn. So, moving forward, Boston's just going to have to try to get easier buckets. But I did have Milwaukee in 6. I think I'm going to still keep it with that. Just because I try to tell people Giannis is just different this year, and his game's improved. He finished with a triple-double. Didn't shoot that good, but he impacted the whole game without scoring. So, Milwaukee, I got them in 6. And the other East, you might as well just stay in the East. Miami and Philly, obviously without Embiid, first 2 games. Miami took game 1 last night behind Bam. Tower Hero played really good. That paint's definitely going to be very open without Embiid. Bam was having his way in the first quarter. And this is going to be hard for the Sixers to really stop anybody.
Yep.
So I think I got Miami in 5. Yeah, that's just me. What's your take, though? What's your team?
So, we obviously had a lot of confidence going into this. We had a lot of rest. Kyle Lowry's still out and banged up, but it's okay. Get your rest because we're still playing well. So, it's like we don't really, of course, we'll need them down the road, but you don't gotta force yourself to come back. We don't need to do that. So, obviously, Tobias Harris had himself a night, obviously. But the look, or the main thing is, can James Harden lead a team? Can he be what he was in Houston? Answer is no. He's long past that. He's just a facilitator. He can average a double-double. He can't score like he used to without the free throw line. I'll say that. I think there was a stat that said Harden has won 11 straight playoff games without scoring 25 points.
Yeah.
That's your superstar. That's tough. That's tough, bro. So I think they said that was like the longest drought since he was with y'all coming off the bench. That's tough. But looking over on the Heat side, the Heat struggled offensively and won by 14. That's tough. There's also a stat that if we're holding teams under 100 points, I believe we're 26-1. Holding teams under 100 points. So that's tough. Jimmy Butler had himself an off game, but that's not going to happen again, I believe. PJ Tucker is the heart and soul of this team right now. PJ Tucker is the heart. He went down there, probably was the smallest one down there, got himself 5 offensive rebounds. The rebounding and defense is what is going to be the first 2 games before Embiid comes back. Bam has to stay aggressive. Max Strus had an off night. I don't see him shooting that bad again. Gabe Vincent, he had an off night. Well, everybody had an off night. And we still were able to win by double digits. That's tough. But there was some interesting comments by Paul Reed. He said after the game, we can definitely beat this team. All we gotta do is keep them on their heels, and they're gonna fold.
Interesting.
Now listen, if Tobias Harris said this, I'd maybe be a little, but he could put up 20. If James Harden said this, that's James Harden. If Joel Embiid said this, that's Joel Embiid. Who is Paul Reed? Paul Reed averages 4 points. He just put up 4 points this game. He played 13 minutes. Now, if it was a star, then okay, because you can go out and you can back it up. Paul Reed is fighting with minutes with DeAndre Jordan, with George Niang. He's fighting minutes with them, with Matisse Thybulle. No comment. I don't got much to say on that. That's just tough. But I feel like if we play better offensively and still keep that intensity on defense and make James Harden uncomfortable, because I feel like Joel Embiid obviously is going to come back. His concussion may be gone, but his finger is obviously still hurt. Make Embiid uncomfortable, because we're playing really well playing bully ball. Real bully ball. And Joel Embiid was getting, not bullied, but he was getting beat down in Toronto. He was getting beat down in Toronto. Same thing is going to happen with us. So if we keep on doing that, I could agree Heat in 5. I could agree Heat in 5. Yep.
Yeah, I just don't. Harden just he's not able to turn the gears anymore. I mean, obviously, I feel like personally, I don't think he's lost it. I really don't think he's lost. I feel like it's more either conditioning or a mental block.
Mental thing. Yep.
Like he's still trying to learn. I mean, he did get traded mid-season to Philly. And Doc Rivers' system. I mean, who knows if Doc Rivers come back next year either. So that'll be another coach he has to learn a different way to play, and he's still working around players and whatnot. But he should be able to. I mean, like you said, I think he should be able to still get 25. Not being able to hit that mark after averaging 37% on the Rockets one season. I mean, it's kind of absurd to me. I think he should be able to hit 25 at least. So he just really needs to just be on more aggressive. I mean, Tobias, he played well, as you said. He was definitely taking you guys off the dribble. I mean, I expect that though, because Tyrese Maxey was getting a lot of attention as well, and Harden. So I think Tobias will have a good series, and then we just gotta see what happens when Embiid comes back. But moving to the west side of things, second round matchups last night was Phoenix and Dallas, and Luka put up 45, 12 and 8 in the loss to Phoenix. I think he's the youngest player since Jordan averaged 33 in a playoff run. So he's definitely stepped it up. I mean, he got out the first round. That was his goal this year. So shout out Luka. He is one of my favorite players. So I think with this series, what I saw a lot, I mean, Chris Paul really wasn't facilitating. Devin Booker played really good with the ball in his hands yesterday. And DeAndre Ayton, you can't have him scoring 25 plus if you're the Mavs and win the game. But I understand they're small inside, no Porzingis. Obviously, you trade that for Dinwiddie, another playmaker, and Bertans. So they gave up some size. They got Powell and Kleba, but Kleba's more of a shooter. He's actually been playing really good as well this playoffs. And then going forward, the shooters, I don't think Reggie Bullock played good that last night. And
he fouled out.
Yeah, he fouled out. So, and Jalen Brunson, I'm pretty sure didn't play good, or Dinwiddie last night. So I think going forward, Luka obviously is going to need some of his teammates to step up big time and against a talented Phoenix roster. I mean, they were throwing everybody at him. Some possessions was Jay Crowder, Bridges, Chris Paul, Aiden on Luka. I mean, he still did his thing. Even though he was banged up that game too. I mean, so I think Luka definitely can get a game, maybe 2. I think Suns in 6. I feel like they can get one in Phoenix and in Dallas. So give me Suns winning in 6. I just think Suns roster, their pedigree championship run, they're still mad about last year. And going forward, they really got their eyes on the championship. So I like Phoenix winning this series.
Phoenix just went through a slugfest with the Pelicans. Right. Luka putting up 45, double, almost a triple-double. I think this goes to 7 games. I think Luka can take the Mavs the distance. I think they can go to 7 games, but in that 7th game, home team's gonna win. Who's the home team? Phoenix. So I think Phoenix moves on, but they are definitely going to get a run for their money with the Mavs for sure. Because Luka, he dropped 45 on 50% shooting. 50% shooting. That's tough, bro. That's tough to do. But everybody around him, like you said, did not play well. Jalen Brunson, he only had 13. He's been having a real good playoffs. Reggie Bullock, 2 for 7, fouled out. So really, if the supporting cast showed up, that's a winnable game. They only lost by 8 or 7? No, they lost by 7.
Run.
It was a late
run. Pretty much out of reach, mostly before. So
yeah, but I think this goes the distance. I think this goes 7 games, but I think Suns finish it off.
Okay, and brings us to the last series, the second round. Probably the most entertaining one, Golden State and Memphis. Golden State has been on the record that they said Memphis does give similarities to how they were coming up into the league in the early 2010s. And Golden State, they are up 1-0 after an interesting game 1. Draymond gets ejected on a questionable play. I personally watched it. I'm giving it a flagrant 1.
Yeah, he should have got ejected.
But you said he should have.
He shouldn't. No, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have got ejected for that.
Yeah, I think going forward though. Yeah, I don't think Memphis just doesn't have the. I don't know. It's just Memphis. We saw it last year. They were able to come back against the Timberwolves. But like, if your head's not in the game against Golden State, you might as well just call it quits, because obviously they were only up 6 at halftime. Clay had 3 fouls. Draymond got ejected.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think Curry was playing that good. He did. Yeah, Curry didn't have a good game. Only had 24. Shot 8 for 20. So it was really Jordan Poole played really good in this game. Had 31. Memphis, this was their game to win, in my opinion. Should have been something they took, but the Warriors able to come back. Klay Thompson hit a late 3, put them up 1. Then Curry stopped Ja on a drive. And then they did miss 2 free throws, so they did have a chance at the end. But Ja, a layup we've seen him make, but he did miss the layup. Can't make them all. I did, watching the play though, like breaking it down, I did see he could have probably once he got to the foul line, maybe dish to Brandon Clark for like a little floater or layup. But
Right.
it would have been a split second because Clay would have tipped the pass if he kept driving and then passed the ball. But it was definitely not a bad take. So I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, that was something that this game I did think Memphis was going to win this game before the game started. They did come out hot, like I said in the first half, but the championship DNA, Curry, Poole, Thompson, Steve Kerr has, and these guys, even with Draymond out the whole second half, they were able to rally and come back. You know, I want this to go 7. I think it goes 6 or maybe 5, which leads to another round where there's no game 7s yet. So I don't know if there'll be game 7 in this playoffs. Who knows? See what happens. I do got, like I said, I think Golden State wins at max in 6. I could see them winning 4 or 5 though.
Yeah, this is a game you have to win if you're Memphis. Clay didn't shoot well. Draymond's out. This is a game you had to win. You had 2 people over 30 points, Ja and Jaren Jackson. But Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bane, and Kyle Anderson. Well, I ain't going to include Kyle Anderson. But Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane combined for 6 for 23. That's tough, bro. Those my shooters. Those my shooters. I need y'all to hit. But this is that Ja layup at the end was a very good look. It was a really good look. It's just unfortunate that didn't go in. But this is a game y'all cannot blow. Y'all had to win this. But I do think y'all come back and win game 2 by a good margin. I think y'all win by a good margin. But
yeah, Memphis tonight?
I got Memphis tonight. But they should be 2-0 going back to Golden State. That's going to be a game that they wish they had. That they definitely wish they had back. But I think this does go to. I think this is a series along with the Mavs and Suns that also goes to 7 games. I think this also goes to 7 games. So I think Memphis does it.
Memphis wins.
I think Memphis does it. I think Memphis does it, man. These teams are evenly matched. I don't care what anybody tells me. I think these teams are evenly matched. This is tough. This is tough, bro. But I got Memphis. I got Memphis in it. I think Memphis goes to Golden State, takes 1 there. Well, they're going to have to take 2, actually. They're going to have to take 2 there. But regardless, it goes to 7 games. And I think that they meet Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals.
Wow. That's interesting. One thing I did notice about Memphis, they didn't try to beat up the Warriors inside the paint a lot. They were shooting a lot of threes. Hopefully that changes because the Warriors are undersized. I mean, they start Draymond now at the 5. So they're definitely going to try to get him in foul trouble. I think that should be a good plan for them. But Draymond's also a smart defender, so it'll be kind of hard. But like I said, I think Memphis should try to look inside tonight when they play Warriors and then work their way outside. I felt like they were shooting a lot of jumpers. So we'll see what happens. Like you brought up, Dylan Brooks, he didn't play that good either. And the other shooters around him, their bench has to play better. This is going to have to be a team effort if they want to win tonight. I think I'll agree. I think Memphis wins this tonight, but I think it will be close. And I think I got Milwaukee beating Boston tonight too. I think Boston goes down 0-2. I think Boston's banged up. You brought up Marcus Smart, got hurt. Drew Holiday is playing some of the best basketball right now. He's been playing really good these playoffs. Stepped it up without Middleton. I think he had 25 last game. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So he's been playing really good. He's been a pest. Jaylen Brown's banged up. Obviously, Robert Williams just came off knee injury, so he's still feeling that. I mean, I don't see Boston's depth competing with Milwaukee. I think they go down 0-2 tonight.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be tough, man. That's gonna be real tough. But hey, we gonna see. We gonna be back. But hey, man, we gonna see. I think by next week, gonna be maybe around the game 5s. Around the game 5s. So yeah, we gonna see how things go. But until then, it's your boys Juice and Lou, and we out of here.
Out of here.
Peace.